I'm like, I'm calling like 10.
Good evening, Cubes of the Cash. Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy here, and tonight, guys, we have artist Ken Wheaton in the studio. He has some upcoming projects, but we're going to get to know a little bit more about this man. A man that you guys may not know, but Ken Wheaton is the one who designed the Keep It Casual stickers that I have, the Keepers of the Cash sticker, my channel logo. He also did Nick's Kicks and Comics, Rob Fat Stacks of Comics, Small Town Collectibles. He has made his way around YouTube as a YouTube artist as well and logo maker. Ken, how are you doing this evening, sir?
Fantastic.
Nice to see you. It feels like it's been days.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're coming in loud and clear. Now, before we get into talking about your art history and your projects and doing a little show and tell and what's coming up, we're going to say hi to our chat. So joining us always first in, as always, Las Cruces. Good evening, sir. Nice to see you. Tony from Comiverse. Nice to see you, Tony. Madam, nice to see you. Stephanie, thank you for showing up. Chop and Drop. Daniel, nice to see you, buddy. All right, we have also L Green Machine. Nice to see you, sir. Thank you for joining us. Everyone's getting their notifications. Jean Malot from Canada. Nice to see you, buddy. Manny the Hobgoblin. Nice to see you, sir. All right, so as people are coming in, we'll give them a little wave. Actual Dracula's here. Good evening, Jack. Nice to see you. So, Ken, a brief history of you as an artist. When did you start art, and when did it become a profession?
Well, I started drawing about 6 years old, and it became a profession when I was about 20 something. Yeah. So started dabbling around 2000, 2001. Got some professional work shortly after that. Worked on some inking stuff for Moonstone Comics and then Bongo Comics on some Simpsons projects, and then did various other licensed projects. I Dream of Jeannie, Mr. Magoo, Kolchak the Night Stalker, the Phantom, all sorts of stuff. Little, stuff that your parents loved, and your grandparents and your great grandparents. But anyway, but the Simpsons was stuff that I dabbled in. I got a couple, 2-3 jobs a year, and that was kind of steady work, freelancing. Then let's see, 2010, I drew I did a Popeye 80th anniversary of Popeye comic, which led to being offered to do a regular Popeye gig. So I drew, I worked on 5 issues of the 12 issues, actually 6 issues of the 12 issues. In various capacities, doing short stories or complete issues, and I even colored one of the covers. So, so I did that.
Put Popeye up again. Give everyone a really clear look at him.
What's that? This guy?
Either one, but get it close to the camera. You'll get used to it. There you go. Just classic Popeye.
Yep. And let's see. Oh, here's one of my Simpsons books.
And we have Durs in there saying, stay tuned. He's commissioning you to do his logo.
He is. Yes, he is.
Another one in the Ken YouTube comic army there.
And I've done over the years, occasionally I've done store commissioned variant covers. So this is one I did a few years ago for the anniversary of Back to the Future. Back to the Future #1 for First Print Comics, available through me if you want it. So and we'll talk about that when we sign off. And then leading into what I was promoting today, I did this sorcery cover for Archie Comics, and it takes place inside the cover. It's inside the Rhinos Comics store. And then I did another one for them in conjunction with 3D Comics in Buffalo. And we did this Betty and Veronica.
Right, the classic Thing and Hulk standoff homage cover.
Yes, and if you read very closely, not approved by Miss Grundy.
Nice. What I like about that too is you got Troy saying sweet, Digger Jim's in here. I'm saying that's so cool. What I like about that is you have an old school taste like we do, and most of us in this community love corner box art, and you put
Oh, I
corner
love
box
it. I
art.
love it. So I did this thing and I drew a whole thing with Betty, Veronica, Archie, and Jughead. And I designed this whole corner box myself and I sent it to them and they sent me a stat and they said, can you use this 1980s Dan DiCarlo art? So I spent all this time drawing this thing and I just used Dan DiCarlo art, but it's pretty cool still. It's cool. Yep. I love it.
Now you've done. Did you do a Madam Satan cover as well? I thought, or no?
Yeah, that was Chilling Adventures in Sorcery. So that's the Madam Satan, and
Yep.
she's in Rhinos Comics. So if you go to Rhinos Comics in Rochester, New York, the the store looks just like this. If you're standing at a certain point,
Yeah, the interior.
the interior. That's what I was going to say. But it's funny, they were only selling Archie comics that day for some reason.
Now, and what does the little joke say?
Rhinos has so many comics, Betty. And she's like, just keep focused on the new issues, Archie, because Madam Satan's reading a classic 1970s sorcery book. But he's not looking at the book; he's looking at something else there.
Right.
So yeah.
Well,
So there you
Archie's
go.
always getting in trouble.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now you do have a new cover coming out too, do you not?
Yes. So it's out today. It's timely as today's news. This is actually I'm going to show. Okay, so I'm going to show you the original cover, the mainstream cover. This is the book that in question. Okay, it's Benny Veronica Friends Forever Rock and Roll Special, and it's got the lead story by Holly G. Holly Golightly.
Yep.
Is it her real name? I don't know, but so that's that, and that is her main cover, and she's actually doing a variant cover as well, which I ordered, and I get to meet her at Terrificon in July, so that'll be cool to meet a fellow someone on the same book. But this is my cover, and I'll show you. I have a hot off the presses here, and this is limited. Here, we'll show you this. I don't know if you can read that. And I like word balloons on covers. Usually I try to put a word balloon on a cover because it's old school, because that's what we like. So I didn't get one on the Betty Veronica because it was an homage to the Thing Hulk confrontation. But if you look at most of my other covers, they have word balloons on them. It's got word balloons on that one. Here's a romance one. I put some word balloons on that because you have to.
Yeah, put that romance one up a little closer. You're going a little fast. Give everyone a really good look at your work there, bud. And hold it up.
It's quick cuts. Come on. Okay, all right.
They can't focus on the art though. There you go. Hold it up a little higher. Perfect. Another time, another place.
Yes. She is the woman in love with no defenses. She has no choice but to live this moment in the glory of his embrace. We'll show the back here.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So this is another project I'm developing. I'm working on. This is the convention special. It's got one of the stories that's going to be in an anthology, and it's written by Silver Age editor and writer and creator of Swing with Scooter from DC Comics, Barb Freelander. And this was something that a project that we're working on. And this story was drawn by the Kennedy brothers, one of whom just passed away, unfortunately. But that's that. And we've got another story by myself and one by Fernando Ruiz, also from Archie and several other things.
Now,
so that's coming out.
From you, besides that cover being from you, can you show a little bit of the interior art that you did?
Yeah, well, this was drawn by the Kennedy brothers, so I inked it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I worked on the inks. Okay, see, it's beautiful. It's classic old school romance comics. It's beautiful. It's beautiful stuff. Let's see here. Oh, so we have stories by Barb Freelander, the Silver Age great. She was a writer of many of the romance comics back in the 60s. And so our actual cover for the first issue, this is the convention special. You can only get it at conventions and also through me. We'll do some messaging with Instagram. We'll get my information, and we'll be able to get you some goodies. But our main cover is going to be drawn by. Oh, hold on. Ramona Freyden.
Okay.
Who?
Oh, go ahead.
So Ramona Freyden is a dear lady. I think she's 94. She co-created Metamorpho, and she drew Super Friends and Wonder Woman and all sorts of comics back in the 60s, 70s, 80s. She's still going strong doing commissions, and she did our cover. So that's coming up as well.
Nice. And now, so the book that you have coming out, just show that one more time for everyone. That came out today.
Yeah, and this one is
on Facebook or Instagram message you, right?
Yeah, so it's Facebook, just it's Ken Wheaton, but on Instagram it's Artist Ken Wheaton. So it's pretty easy. It's Instagram Artist Ken Wheaton, and if you want to email me, if you don't feel like you want to do instant messaging, it's artistkenwheaton@gmail.com. So, and I'm trying to build my Instagram. I just started it this last month. Really started getting into it. I think I did a few posts before the end of the year, and I said, I really want to do this. I mean, I've got to be a social media phenom like Gary Baker. So he's taking me under his wing, and he's teaching me the ropes.
Well, we are going to take a quick look right here at your Instagram account, Ken. So
Cool.
People can put some eyes on the art. Now, this Wonder Woman is what made me get a Wonder Woman commission from you. And
is that not the one I sold you? Or is
that the one you did for me or Rhino?
I don't know. I've done a couple similar ones. I've done several actually. Linda Carter is a popular subject.
Right, and I have you doing a Gal Gadot for me soon.
Yep. Now, thank you for pronouncing her name right. That's great.
And this is the one you just did recently was this Homer Simpson one.
Yeah, I did that. Homer is Spawn eating a flaming donut. So that one's the most recent. So yeah.
All right, we have King Conan in there. We have Harrison Ford. And
yeah,
Blade Runner.
Yeah, so I'm pigeonholed as the Simpsons guy, but I like drawing realistically, and I'm just an artist, so I draw whatever's a challenge. Oh, Beta Ray Bill. That's not Beta Ray Bill, by the way. That's Gatorade Bill. That was a commission for a friend of mine.
And here's another close-up of your cover.
Yep.
So right there.
Cool.
Now, see, this just makes me want to see a Josie and the Pussycats by you.
Well, if there's a special coming up, I'll do it.
But yeah, so that's his Instagram, guys. So if you haven't, the link's in the description below. You can certainly follow it. But so Ken, let's talk about the other side of things. You also work a little bit on comics that you do the interiors for, and you also do commissions.
Yes.
So as long as I've known you, you've always been busy with commissions. So you got a few things that you're working on now that you can share with the audience?
Well, let's see. I usually put the commissions up on the Instagram or what I'm doing, but I'll show you some. I've got some process art. I kind of grabbed things at the last minute. This was kind of impromptu. So so we've got that cover. Let me see here. Where's the finished? So that's the finish. So what do you do with? Some people do detailed thumbnails drawings. I just got an Alex Ross thumbnail drawing, which is absolutely ridiculously detailed, and it's almost sick. He works real small, and it's almost like you could publish his thumbnail drawing, which is about it's smaller than it's about half the size of an actual comic book. So what I do, here's what I do. This is funny. This was the thumbnail for me for that. That's all I did, man.
Oh, the rough sketch.
Yeah, that's all I did. That was the idea. That's okay. Now let's draw. So then I developed it, and then you get to this point, where you kind of you work up a rough drawing, and then you kind of light box and you develop it a little more, and then we get to the final version, and then we really go to town. So this would be see if I can.
Right. Once you start inking it and you got the final lines down.
Yeah. So you've got that. So yeah, the front row is the nod to. I'll show it here. You can see it better in color. But the front row of the. Oh, hold on. I'm getting used to it. Social media, guys. So that front row is an homage to the Superman versus Muhammad Ali cover by Neil Adams. And that front row is kind of lifted from that. So I made, some guy into Archie and Jughead, and I made Telly Savalas into Mr. Weatherby. And I left Batman alone, and that's the tip-off. I don't think anyone would really know that was a nod if I hadn't left Batman in there. So,
right.
I
was going to call out the Batman on it.
What's that?
Said I was going to call out the Batman on it because he's.
Well, that was intentional. We were going to put all sorts of crazy stuff in. We're going to put Bart Simpson's We're going to put Bart Simpson and Batman and Spider-Man and I don't know who else, but maybe Family Guy. But I'm like, no, I can only put about because I wanted the focus to be on the band because it's the introduction of the character, Jola Kitt, which is her first appearance. So I had to put her front and center on the center.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's another reason to get the book. You got a first appearance.
It's a first appearance. and this Betty Veronica is also a first appearance. So you have first appearances.
Here's another question. Here's Tony from Comiverse. He says he has a Spawn #1 that's begging to have someone sketch on it. Now, if someone wants to get a sketch done from you, please tell them how they go about that, how they reach out to you, how they get pricing from you, and how they get the book to you.
Well, so what they would do is I actually have a Spawn #1 variant sketch cover. Is that the Spawn, the repro of #1 that you had that came out a few months ago? Because I do have some of those. You don't even have to send me one. I can just do it and send it to you. If that's the case, so if someone theoretically had a cover, and I do have a bunch of covers, and we could talk. What you want to do is you message me and you say, hey, I got this great idea for a commission. And then I say, okay, would you like it Simpsonized? Would you like a realistic rendering? Would you like something like Archie? Would you like anything, really? Because if you look at my Instagram, I try to put a variety of things so that I'm not pigeonholed being the Simpsons guy. It's okay, but I like drawing everything, so it's nice to do that.
Now, we're going to put you on the spot here for 1 second in the middle of your pitch. Now, if anyone that's watching this contacts you from the Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy channel, are there any perks to that for them?
Yeah. Yes, there is. So what I'm going to do is if they mention you, I'll give them a big discount. So normally, you go to conventions and sketch covers. I'm going to be in Canada next week, so it's going to be more. But usually a sketch cover, it's going to be okay, black and white, Simpsonized, I can do $75. If it's color, Colors of Pain, I make it $100. But it's nice. I mean, I did one of Action Comics #1, 1000, which was a Simpsonized Action Comics 1 homage. If you look at my Instagram, you'll see it. But that was a black and white and color added at a convention that was about 125 Canadian, which is a little over 100 American. But what I will do, so like I said, if you want realistic, it's about 100. If you want Simpsonized black and white, it's, it could, if it's a simple, if it's not on a sketch cover, it could be that too. But, everything's individually, we try to work with you. Yeah, that's the one that was. So if you want something like that, I could do like, I'll do $90 for Gary's group, and if it's a 75, we'll do 65. If it's something, I'll knock a percentage off. We'll get you at least a good 10% off savings, maybe 15%.
Nice. See, let me stop the screen so we can get you back big again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm big already. I got Chinese. I got just Chinese food waiting for me. That's going to make me bigger. But anyway, I'm bummed. So yeah. So like I said, so if you want a commission, contact me. We'll do something within your budget. It's going to probably be at least $60 plus shipping just for a basic, nice black and white cover, because I got the covers I got to put in and that. So I figured, that. But if we had color, if it's realistic, we add a little more. But it's still going to be cheaper than, Frank Miller, which it's going to be cheaper than Jim Lee. It's going to be a lot cheaper than Rob Liefeld.
There you go. He wants to see Spawn fighting Ghost Rider.
Realistic or Simpsonized, or we could do something.
Oh, Nauman, good evening, sir. Jerry, how you doing, buddy? Yeah. So now also you had L Green Machine up here said claim print. Do you sell prints of your work?
If they're covers that I've done, I can certainly do that. I've done, I can do that.
Right, and they would just.
Yeah, I have. I've done things that pop. I actually had. I posted one. There's a Red Ranger, Power Ranger print that I've done that actually is on Austin St. John. If you go to his website and go to the apparel, you can get it on a T-shirt or a hoodie. It's actually official. It's official, unofficial, I guess. It's on the Red Rangers official site, but is it legit? I don't know. But I've done prints like that, convention prints. I try to get away from it because I like to do the original art.
Right, but
But certainly, if somebody wanted a print of an original, I could certainly do that with or without logo. We can custom print it, do it be like $10 plus shipping. Something like that.
Saying he wants an old man Hulk with white beard and all but my face, sitting on his throne. So he kind of wants a maestro.
Yeah, you want the maestro. Yeah.
But
so yeah, so look,
instead of his trophies, he'd have booked video games and stuff like that. Books and video games and. Oh, so he's already following you because he followed you from my last shout out of you.
Well, the last time you mentioned me on Instagram, I got like 12 followers. So to someone that's just starting out, that's huge. So thank you.
Oh, it's no problem. So
yeah.
Hopefully you'll get a few people reaching out to you for commissions, or at least buying the new book that's out, which is also first appearance.
Yeah. So this one is available. We're doing a signing in Utica, New York, in April 1st. It's a Saturday, and it's only available at the store or through me. It's it's the Central New York CNY Comic Archive outside of it's near Utica, between Utica and Rome, but it is limited to 250 copies, and that's all I've got. I've got a bunch, so I can mail them out. And I also have the Betty and Veronica Summer Shindig, Summer Surf Party. I don't know, whatever it's called. But anyway, Summer Surf Party is what it is. So I can do, so I've got them each for 10 each. both for $26 shipping, I believe it is. So 16 or 20. I'll do so for you guys 14 and what is that, 23, something like that. We'll do a couple bucks off for anyone that mentions Gary.
Now, are those also signed?
If they want them, yeah. Well, normally I would sign them, but if some, we get occasional people they don't want them signed. But
But if somebody
I
asked,
mean,
you would throw a sig on there for them.
yeah, I can do I'll usually put a signature unless they want it without, and I can even personalize it or write, to my rock and roll father, or my, rockin' daughter or something like that. We can do something cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, you've been doing a lot in the Archie universe lately? Do you have anything coming up that's outside of that?
Well, we're doing, like I said, we're doing this romance book. We're also doing,
Right.
and I don't have art to show, but I will soon. We're doing a Halloween night mares ... It's kind of a play on words. I mean, there's been a couple things called Halloween, but it's Halloween night ... mares. I guess it's what it's going to be called. But it's an anthology. It's written by a local gent, and it's a bunch of artists working on it. Local guy Nigel Carrington. He does a lot of stuff. Self-published artist. He's working on it. We've got Keith Williams is doing work on it. Keith Williams, a legendary Marvel and DC inker.
And one of the nicest gentlemen you'll ever want to meet.
Yeah, he's doing the framing sequence. So what it's going to be, it's a full 32-page story, but it is individual. It's broken up individual stories. So you've got a host, and those are Keith's introductions and segments throughout.
Right, like the Crypt Keeper type of guy.
Yeah, so it starts off with a family, mother, father, two boy and girl teenagers, and 10 and 12 son and daughter. So 2 sons, 2 daughters, 2 are teenager, a pair is teenagers, pair is 10 and 12. So it's Halloween night, and the older teens are supposed to take the younger kids out trick-or-treating. So, and they're supposed to keep an eye on them. So they go out, and they're like, okay, bye. So then they get out in the street and they're like, okay, kids, you can go with your friends. We're going to go to a college party. So then it diverges from that. So the next story is set in a pizza parlor, and the kids are involved in that, but it involves zombies and a couple of stoners and pizza and zombies. So, and then the next story is there's a werewolf story, which these characters overlap in each story. Different characters from this family overlap in each story. And then there's a story that's like a Hansel and Gretel witch story. And then the final story is a college party where we end up with the teenagers, and then something happens with vampires. So there's werewolves, there's vampires, there's zombies. It's a really cool book. And that's coming out prior to Halloween, and we'll have it available during the fall season.
Nice. And the last thing I want to get to before we're going to wrap stuff up tonight is you started something about
when I start
a year or a year and a half ago, right? And we get this complaint a lot about people going to conventions. They're just not about comics anymore. But there's a convention here in Rochester that is about the comics now. And what convention would that be?
You got it. Empire Comic Fest. So if you go to, we're on a website, www.empirecomicfest.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. So it's a 2-day show coming up. We've had 4 so far. The first show we decided, the co-founder and I, Mike Blowers, we were driving to the old school show in New Hampshire. And it's a 1-day show in New Hampshire, and it's all about comics. So, Rochester, New York is 6 hours to New Hampshire and 6 hours back. So we're going to a show that's a pure comic book show. And we got, 12 hours round trip is a long time to be in the car with somebody, especially this guy that doesn't stop talking. But so we said, why are we driving 12 hours when we're in Rochester, New York? Now, Rochester, New York is a hotbed for comics. I mean, it dates back to the early 70s with Empire Comics. Our name is kind of a play on, it's an homage. Half it's an homage to the great Empire Comics stores of the past, and where the Empire State. So we started this show. We got all vendors. There was it was something like no celebrity stuff, no Funko Pops, no nonsense. It was all comic vendors, and they had to have 80% comic book content. So that went over, and they said, well, maybe you'll get 200 people. We got over 450 people at that first show, 1 day show. And our next show, we had Jim Shooter, and we increased the attendance and the number of vendors. And the third one, we had Mike Grell and Keith Williams and a bunch of folks. And this last one, the fourth one, we had Luke McDonald, who rarely makes appearances, legendary Suicide Squad and Iron Man artist, and worked on a lot of things. And this fifth one, we're going to have, it's going to be a Friday and a Saturday. It's going to have Joe Rubenstein. There you go. Joe Rubenstein is going to be our first guest. Now, there may be a bunch of other guests that we're going to announce soon, but they're going to be some high caliber A-list comic book guys, old school guys. So we're going to, if you follow us on Instagram or check the Facebook and the Twitter and everything, we'll have updates.
And on your Instagram, you'll be posting this as well, right?
On mine, yes. I will do that, yes. Why not?
Right, because on Instagram, that's where people see a lot of stuff. So you need to have it there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yes, Sensei.
Yes. Because, I know where you live, so if I have to go beat it out of you. But no, so again, a pure comic fest. And just the variety is amazing, right? You got Golden Age to modern and just...
And it's all comic vendors. It's over 30 vendors of all comics. And we're talking about 10 by 10 spot with multiple tables from each vendor. So it's packed full of comics. People have told me that Teddy Haynes, a promoter out of Buffalo, who's put on hundreds and hundreds of shows himself, said that it was. He said the last show was the best, the most impressive selection of Golden Age that he's seen since the 70s.
That's nice. There's a lot of people, especially that watch my channel, they're not watching me for Golden Age because I don't have it. But on their channels, they have Golden Age.
And like I said,
Golden Age collectors.
Yeah, and we'll have silver and bronze and copper and modern. It's all comics. It's not a pop Funko Pop festival. It's not a cosplay festival. Although you can come dressed up, and you may see a pop floating around or two, but it's primarily all comics. And actually, I've gone to a lot of bigger shows, and it's surprising how we have just as many or more comic vendors at our show than some of the big shows.
And you could be there the whole day looking. There's just tons of books there. And raw, slabbed, whatever you're looking for, it's available.
Yes.
And just a great atmosphere.
And we made it 2 days coming up because 1 day is not enough. So if you want to come from out of town, you want to drive from Cleveland, if you want to come from Erie, Pennsylvania, if you want to come from Philly or Pittsburgh, it's worth your trip. If you are hardcore comics, it's worth it.
And you'll get to say hi to Ken because he's walking around the whole show, all nice
Yeah,
and
I'm right.
nervous and
I'm the
saying
guy
hi.
with the clip. I'm the guy with the clipboard. So not only do I work in a comic shop, I draw comics, I read comics, I collect comics, I run a comic show, and I was at another comic shop this morning, and some people, because people go to other comic shops, and they're like, "Wait, Don't you work at another comic shop? You're just hanging out on your day off, on your morning off at a comic shop? Why not? I love it."
Right? It's the lifestyle for you.
It is. It is.
Nice. Well, Ken, with that, we'll start wrapping up. Is there anything else you want to get out information wise to the audience that's
No,
watching
just
now and on
just
the rewind?
Yeah, so just think Artist Ken Wheaton. It's Artist Ken Wheaton at Instagram. It's Artist Ken Wheaton at gmail.com. You can find me just under Ken Wheaton on Facebook and send me a friend request. Let me know who you are. And I'm on Messenger there too, just under Ken Wheaton. Like I said, if you want to get a book, one of the Betty and Veronicas, or the sorcery one as well, I've got that one as well. So if you want to get any of these books, just let me know, and I'll mail them out. I'll let you know. Oh, I got the Back to the Future one. I got some of those too. We can put a bundle together.
And let them know Gary B sent you.
And let them know Gary B sent you. We'll knock 15% off the price of what it's going to cost me to get it to you. And also hit me up if you want to look at my Instagram, look at what I draw, look at the different styles. Send me a message and we'll do a sketch cover, or we can do an original commission. We can do something larger, more extravagant. I've got examples. I can do cover recreations. I've done a couple. I think I posted a couple Simpsonized recreations. I did a Homer Spawn #1 homage for somebody. That was a larger original 11 by 17 piece.
And your
Can do anything for you.
Neil Adams homage was really good too.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't know if I put that one up yet. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. But yeah, you'll see stuff on my Facebook photos too. But Instagram is just my that's down to business.
Right.
About the art.
All right, so guys, please go check out Ken's Instagram. The link is in the description below, and so is his Facebook link. You can reach him, message him through Instagram with any questions you may have, or through Facebook Messenger. And first, I want to thank Ken for coming on and being the guest tonight. Thank you very much, sir. It was a fun impromptu show.
Thank you for having me, because I'm a Luddite. He's like, "Oh, this is how you do it." I'm like, and then he was getting nervous. It was like 8:25, and he's like calling me, and he was so nervous that I wouldn't get it right. But we're doing okay. We're doing okay from my kitchen with the cats fighting in the back.
I was starting to get, I was getting a little antsy. I was, getting that old Wayne Brady going. I'm like, am I going to have to choke an artist out next time I see him? No, but thank you for your time. Thank you for the discount for anyone that's one of my that comes through my channel to you. I appreciate that.
Yes.
And for everyone that tuned in to watch live, thank you very much. For anyone catching us on the rewind, thank you guys for tuning in. Please go check out Ken's art. Candace. Candace just showed up. All right.
Ooh la la.
Candace is she's a huge Archie fan. So before we sign off, I need you to show the Archie book. I'm going to make you big, and you need to show your Archie covers one more time.
Okay, so that's the new one that came out today. That's my variant cover for CNY Comic Archive.
And Candace, there's a new character on the cover that's being introduced in Archie.
Yes, Jola Kit. Okay, and this one is from the Summer Surf Party. That's a variant cover that I did, which also has a new character. And I did a cover for Chilling Adventures in Sorcery. Store variant for Rhino's Comics, and it looks just like the inside of the store. So,
Candace, you get 15% off for knowing me if you contact Ken and buy these books. So his links are in the description below. But again, Ken, thank you. Everyone watching, thank you guys. I appreciate everyone so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Those on the rewind, thank you. And as we like to end this thing, guys, keep it casual.